Hello again, and I'm answering the question, how to make confetti veg. Now, not to suggest that you had that question. Gee, how do I make confetti veg? It's kind of a slang term within the cooking world, only because we're going to make this little colorful sprinkle stuff that way it looks a little bit like confetti in a way. And it's going to be a combination of minced purple cabbage, chopped parsley, minced red pepper, and minced carrots. So I'm going to get on with the business of mincing that stuff for you right now. I'm going to start with the purple cabbage. And we're going to use this stuff, or you're going to use this stuff for, you know how people put chopped parsley on certain things? Well, you use this if you want a little bit more color, a little bit more fun on the plate. And I'll show you a couple of things you can do with it when we get done making it, okay? First, I'm going to chop the purple cabbage. So take yourself a head of purple, get rid of all the outside leaves, and just cut yourself off a little piece. I like to cut a piece like that out of it. There you go. Now hopefully you'll have a use for the rest of the cabbage, you know. All right, here we go. Now, the smallest possible dice that you can do with a knife is called brunoise, or as the French would say, brunoise, with the S being silent. And that's what this is that we're doing, which is the tiniest, smallest dice that you can make. And no, you cannot do this in a food processor. You must do this by hand in order for it to be cut like this. Okay, there's the purple. I was commenting earlier to our producer that purple cabbage is one of those few veg that when you touch it, the purple rubs off on you if the cabbage is a little bit wet. The only other veg I can think of like that is strawberries, but you got to clean a lot of them. Not with the purple cabbage though, so be careful because it'll stain your white shirt if you're wearing a white shirt. All righty, now the red pepper. And I think I did a skills video for you before on how to dice red pepper, but not how to make brunoise, which is almost the same thing, but a little bit smaller, okay? I'm going to cut it in half this way. I'm going to cut the white stuff out of this. Flatten her down a little bit. This is all we need for this much. Again, the skin side of the pepper should be faced out on the cutting board. Obviously, if you haven't done this for as much as I have, then you don't necessarily have to do this fast to do it well. That's something to understand about all the things that you do with a knife. So never try to do it fast unless it comes natural to you and you've, over time, created the ability to do that. Now the red pepper, when that goes inside the confetti veg, you need to wring it out a little bit so it doesn't wet the confetti. If you don't, you're going to get your confetti, will get all stuck together. All right, there's some red pepper. Let's just spread that out a little bit and do it like that. See all that liquid on the towel? You want to get that out of your pepper. All right, there's your red. And you have to use a fresh one. You can't use a cooked red pepper for this because it's just a little too soft, okay? And a carrot. Which I mentioned to you before, I can't think of a single food preparation that has carrots in it where the carrot does not get peeled. There's something about the taste of the peelings, it just doesn't seem to work for anything. Now, in the case of the carrot, rather than cutting the carrot lengthwise, we're going to see if we can cut it with the veg peeler instead. Now, that's cut pretty thin, you see? This, of course, is exactly how carrot curls are made, and they're soaked in ice water, and that's why they curl up after a while. can also fry these little carrot things and make these big crispy fried garnishes out of them. Alrighty. Pretty hard to cut it thinner than that with a knife. I don't think I could cut it that thin with a knife. The veg peeler works perfect for the carrots. Let's try this little pile here first. That is some nice fine julienne too. So if you wanted to make julienne carrot, this would certainly be one way to do it. Keeping in mind that whenever you make julienne, at least when I do, I'm always cognizant of the fact that you have to balance it on your fork, and navigating it into your mouth if the julienne is too long can sometimes be precarious in terms of it falling on your clothes and stuff. So always careful about making the juliennes only about the size of a little matchstick so that you can get them into your mouth without dropping them off your fork. Oh, this is such a fun little thing, this confetti veg. And just really, really brightens up certain dishes, you know. I think we're going to use it on some asparagus today. We're doing the asparagus video for the vegetable class today. That is some small carrot right there. And why can you not do this in a food processor? Because the shape of this vegetable will be different. It'll be chopped instead of finely minced. And it'll look almost shredded in the final analysis. And when you sprinkle this on a plate, you want that real fine little minced look to it, which is what makes it work. And finally, I'm going to chop a little parsley. And I'm going to show you once again, because we have a chopped parsley skills video, I'm going to show you once again how to wash the parsley and dry it after you chop it. That certainly would be enough. Well, let's just chop it up some more. Of course, now we see many cooks who have a whole bunch of parsley doing it with 2 knives. But that's just a little too noisy for me today. I don't have that much parsley to chop. But if you're chopping a whole bunch, that might come in handy. Okay, this is the only part of the confetti veg, of course, that can be chopped, because you can't find diced parsley. Now that would be a neat trick if I could come up with a way to find diced parsley. I'm sure we could sell that to someone. Alrighty, now let's take a nice clean towel and set our parsley in the middle of it. This also makes the parsley a little bit greener when you do this too, which in the case of the confetti veg is significant because the whole concept here is to make something colorful and fun. And the greener the better. So I'm going to dip it in some water. And then I'm going to wring it out. And there we have some nice, let me put this in a bowl. There's some nice dry parsley right off that towel. Look at that. Okay. Boy, it's a good thing I got a big supply of towels in this place because I go through them. In your kitchen at home, if I was in your kitchen at home, I'd have myself a little pile of towels all around and somewhere in that kitchen all the time when I'm cooking. It's just a professional habit, I think. All right, so we got a little bit of chopped parsley. Now we're going to put the carrot and the red pepper and the purple cabbage into it. I got a little more purple cabbage than I need here, I think. Kind of try to do some equal parts on this. And let's get rid of this. Because I'm going to dump some of this directly onto the white cutting board when I'm done so you can see it. So let's get the cutting board all nice and clean. Okay, there we go. Now, mix it all together. And, as they say in Europe, voila, which means, there we go. It's like a cymbal on the drums. Voila. So here's some on a plate. Very nice. And here's some on the cutting board. Isn't that cute? So there you have some confetti veg. And it's a fun thing. So if you see a recipe from mine that says and or confetti veg or chopped parsley, blah, blah, you'll know what I'm talking about. So if you want to have some a little more color on a plate. Sometimes you want to use this on an item that tends to be all one solid color and it doesn't have a lot of other stuff involved in it that might produce what I would call more of a natural, colorful presentation. Not to suggest this isn't natural, but this could be added to something like, I think we added it to the boiled artichoke, for example, that was broken down in the how to cook and clean an artichoke video. If I didn't add it, I suggested it to you. So anyway, there it is. For your artichokes and so on. Have fun with this.